Hey everybody, RAPTall back here with another PO battle. This is a UU battle. My opponent is going to be Phntm. I don't think you've seen this team before. Just so you know, it's not the final team. I switched out one Pokemon for another, which I'll probably tell you about in a later playthrough. So let's just get this started. I'm going to start out with a Darmanitan while my opponent starts out with an Umbreon. Now, he's going to go for the obvious Protect, which is fine. I figured I'm going to go for the U-turn. It's either going to be good for switching or it's going to be good for doing good bound damage because it is an Umbreon. Now, I do go into my Roserade here, kind of expecting a possible Toxic. He does go for the Payback, which really doesn't bother me that much. I am kind of expecting another Protect here, seeing what I want to do if I want to Sleep Powder or something, so instead, I'm just going to go straight out for the Spikes. This set is Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Spikes, and Rest. The Rest is pretty nice. Sometimes I kind of wish I had a different move on there, but it does its job. Anyway, as he goes for a Wish, I know I'm not going to be able to do enough damage that would be more than a Wish, so I'm just going to go for a second layer of Spikes right here. And at this point, I have 2 layers of Spikes out. He has nothing out in terms of entry hazards, so at least I have a 1-up on him in that regard. And I know that Snorlax can do a couple of things. This is kind of a scary play. I don't really know why I went to my Darmanitan. I mean, I went into it for the Superpower, but I should have expected him to hit me. If that paralyzed me, that could have been pretty bad. Luckily, that didn't happen. I should have gone for the U-turn. I feel like Superpower was way too obvious, but it's really not that big of a deal. What are you going to do? At this point, I believe I just want to either Dragon Tail or Scald. Yeah, so I'm going to Dragon Tail. I do have Dragon Tail overroar just so things like Taunt don't stop me from doing it. There are a couple occasions where Roar would be better, but I feel like overall, Dragon Tail has served me better. Do expect the Seed Flare here, and actually I'm going to Roserade just as a pivot switch. I'm going to go for the Roserade to expect the Seed Flare, and then switch into my Azelf predicting the Earth Power, which is luckily exactly what happens. Now, from what I'm seeing in the Shaman so far, being the leftover set, I'm thinking it's a little more defensive than offensive in terms of its EVs. So I'm thinking I can go for the Stealth Rocks and, you know, probably live a hit. Honestly, I thought he was going to switch, which is why I went for the Stealth Rocks, but you know, whatever. So I'm just going to go for the Fire Blast second turn. This is kind of a lead Azelf set. It does have Life Orb, though. It's 2 attacks and Stealth Rocks and Taunt. I don't know how normal Taunt is on this set, but it works really well, like in this scenario. I figured the Fire Blast could have killed from the range that the Umbreon was at, but then I'm thinking, I don't think it's going to kill if I do it again. And as you see by that, I'm pretty sure it would have not killed. It might have lived with a smidgen of health. So it does kill me off, but I do taunt it, and it's at super low health. And he can't really switch it out, because if he is, it's going to die to entry hazards. So I'm just going to go for the U-turn. He does get switch advantage, but right now, it's really not that big a deal. He does go back out into the Snorlax. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, there's a couple of things I can do. Last time I went to Darmanitan, that was kind of a dumb play. So instead, I go into this, make a smart choice, go into Blastoise, which is my physical wall. I can Toxic this guy. I can try and shuffle him out. I can always Scald him, try for a burn if he's going to keep attacking me. All I've seen this guy do is Body Slam. But I'm assuming he's probably the Curse set, because that's what I've been seeing a lot. A lot of Curse set Snorlaxes. Now, this Mismagius, I really like it on this team, but actually this is the Pokemon that I switch out later on. It is good in this situation, though, to be completely honest, because I get in a little bit of a Calm Mind War here with this Suicune. Now, I do go for the sub, and right here I go straight out for the Shadow Ball, because I'm kind of expecting the Roar, because that's what a lot of Suicunes do. It's like the Rest, Roar, Calm Mind, Scald, or Surf, or something like that, you know, the mono-attacking one. And since he just goes straight out for Calm Mind, I'm like, well, crap, you know, I do have the sub, so that's all well and good, but now he's got 1 Calm Mind up on me. So I'm going to make the score even at 1 Calm Mind apiece. And I know, as you can tell, that the, oh, it's a critical hit. Never mind. So I see it's 30% damage. So I know that a Scald will break my sub, which means I need at least 1 more Calm Mind to keep him from breaking the sub. But I know that I can kill him off in 2 more hits, so I'm going to force him to rest here, which is luckily exactly what happened. So I force him to rest. At this point, I know I can go for a Calm Mind, and now, depending on what he gets with the Sleep Talk, then I can kind of go from there. He gets the Scald, and it's doing 20%. Perfect. That means I can put up a sub, and no matter what happens in this next turn, he's not going to be able to break my sub. And because of that, I don't even know what his other move is. Because I only see, well, Sleep Talk, Rest, no, never mind, Sleep Talk, Rest, Calm Mind, and Scald instead of Sleep Talk instead of being Roar, or you know what I'm talking about. Never mind. So anyway, Skull is not going to kill my sub thanks to the extra Calm Minds that I've gotten. And at this point, I know Shadow Balls do a pretty good amount of damage. It does 40%, and now he's like, okay, crap, I gotta get my Calm Minds on, because otherwise I'm going to take over him. Pretty much at this point, I know that even if he keeps Calm Minding up, I'm going to be able to Shadow Ball a few times, and it's going to kill him off. Either he's going to have to rest again on this next turn, or just try and do a bunch of damage to me. Because either way, I've got the upper hand here. Because I don't have the % chance of, not doing something helpful with Sleep Talk. Sadly, he gets the burn. It is going to cut my sweep with this Mismagius short in the end. Because he does have a Hitmontop, which I could have subbed down the Sucker Punch, but it's really not that big a deal. It makes the game a little more interesting, put it that way. So I'm just going to go for a 2-hit KO Hidden Power Fighting on this Snorlax. And of course, with 3 Calm Minds up, it's easily going to be a 2-hit KO, especially after all those entry hazards. Excuse me. So at this point, it is 5-2, but don't let that score fool you. There's still a little bit of time to go in this. So at this point, I know he's going to Sucker Punch, but there's really no reason for me to switch out to save this guy for fodder or anything. So I'm just going to let him kill me. Not really a big deal. So he does go for the Sucker Punch, he does kill me, and he gets his leftovers. Whatever. Now at this point, Blastoise comes out, going to Toxic it, he's going to Toxic me. So we're just trading Toxics, and I know at this point that my Aggron, which is kind of the main reason why I love this team, it is the same set as when I had my 4th gen team, but he's not going to do anything in this battle, so I'm just going to switch out to him purely for Death Fodder and use it as a pivot switch to go into my Roserade, because I know Roserade is going to completely wall this Hitmontop. Fighting moves are not going to do a whole lot to me. He could Sucker Punch, which he is going to do, only does about 25-30%, but with Giga Drain, that's going to take most of that, if not all of that, back. So at this point, Hitmontop, he's gone. The score is 3-2 right now, and I'm going to easily finish off this Hitmontop. I'm not sure what move he was going to go for there. I guess it really doesn't matter, because it wouldn't have done very much. Now, as Gligar comes in, Gligar, whatever it's called, I am going for the Sludge Bomb over the Giga Drain here. I know it's not super effective. Of course, in the battle, it's like, oh, it's the higher base power, and they're both just normal, right? So, I'll do that. I think I'm going to pretend that my reasoning was that I was trying to get the poison, but now looking back on it, I'm pretty sure that this Gligar would have the immunity ability from the Dream World, which means he can't get poisoned. So that was kind of just a silly turn of events there. But anyway, I do kind of keep switching up between the Sludge Bomb and Giga Drain. I don't think I ever really noticed until the very end that Giga Drain is doing more. I think I was just having a major brain fart. But, it really doesn't bother me that much. Pretty much I decide, whenever I need some health back so I don't die from a hit is when I'm going for the Giga Drain at this point. And, I mean, it is what it is. Finally, sooner or later here, he's going to realize that he's not going to be able to win this Stall War. I'm just going to be able to keep getting health back. He only has so many roosts and all of that. So at this point, I believe he's just going to keep attacking me until he dies. So it is going to be a 3-0 victory, and even though it's 3-0, it's a pretty tough game. The Suicune Mismagius thing could have gone the other way completely, and I would have been in a buttload of trouble. But there you go. So that's the game. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you like this team. I can't remember if this is the first time you've seen it or not, because I haven't checked if I've done another battle with this team yet. But next time you see this team, it'll have a Spirit team instead of the Mismagius. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you later. Peace.